Today is a day that I feel like we need to bring some attention to. Today is, the 18th anniversary of 9/11. The when
Yeah.
everyone remembers those terrible attacks in New York City. I remember exactly where I was, who everyone I talked to that day. But we haven't had a chance on this show for you to share your story, because what a lot of people don't remember, or some people do, is WWE was the first show in large scale to go back to work after 9/11, and they did a live show right here from Houston. And I know you had a lot going on at that time, Book, in the company. You were kind of new still, and then all this stuff happened with that tragedy. What do you remember about that day back in 2001?
Yeah, man. It was just crazy. We were in Houston, like you say, getting ready for WWE Monday night, and everything went down. And I remember I was at my house, because I had just built my new house, and Nick Patrick, the referee from WCW, of course, he was in WWE at that time as well. He was staying at my house, and he was in the guest room and whatnot. And I woke up, make me a cup of coffee, and clicked the TV on, and literally when I clicked the TV on, the smoke and whatnot was billowing out of the Tower One, and then I'm sitting there watching it as the second tower was hit, and I was, oh my God, and I went and woke Nick up, and told Nick he need to come check this out, and he came in and we watched it, and of course we were both in awe, shock and awe. I mean, it was just definitely a terrible day for America, and then of course WWE postponed the show. They didn't cancel it; they postponed it, and then we all came to a decision that the show should go on. A few days later, I think it was like 3 days later, like Thursday or something like that, and we put the show on just to kind of like break the ice, just so people could stop walking around like they were shell shocked. It was like zombie land. Just didn't know what the hell to do at that point in time. And then we did the show, and the show theme was it didn't have any. If I'm remembering correctly, it didn't have any real angles built around it. It was just matches and stuff like that. Guys who went out and performed. We gave the crowd an awesome show, and the crowd showed up, man. It was a sold-out house, and the people needed that, man. They needed that break. They needed that sense of levity to know that something like this was not going to break us. Something like this was not going to stop us. We was going to keep moving forward. We was not going to be scared and afraid and stay tucked away. No, we was going to come out and we were going to do what Americans do. And I think it was awesome, for WWE to have made that move to move forward and refuse to take a step back. So it was definitely a day that we will remember throughout the history and the annals of time.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching that show. I think it was here in Houston. I wasn't at the show, but I think it was from the Compact Center. And I remember Vince started off the show with this, big kind of, pep talk almost for everybody watching. And I think Lillian sang the national anthem. Do you remember, like, I mean, the vibe with some of the other guys? I mean, were you all down, or did you all kind of say, you know what, we got to go out there and we got to do it for these people? This is bigger than us. I mean, what was the vibe backstage that day?
You know, that's what wrestlers do. We knew that the show was a show that was it was one of those moments. Did we want to go out there and do it or not? And I think everybody had the same consensus: is we wasn't going to let anything stop us from going out there and performing for those fans. I think we all had the same sentiment, and that was we all needed it. We all needed to know that life was going to move forward. This was going to be one of those times, of course, but it wasn't going to be something that defined who we were. But I think we all had the same attitude, and that was to go out and perform at the highest level we possibly could, and give the fans an out just for that 3 hours of, of whatever it was.
Absolutely. Well, I just wanted to, make sure that we never forget, what happened that day and all the Americans, that we lost, all the tragedy, but we've rebuilt there since. But